Hey, Michelle, here we are.
Hello.
And listen, before we get going, if there's anyone who's seeing messages in the chat saying go somewhere else, it's spam, ignore them. If you're watching us, you are in the right place. And I was just checking my iPad to see, yep, we're online. So welcome, Michelle.
Yeah. What can I do for you today, Helen?
Today, I think, going to have an argument about agility.
Yeah.
So
So I got the feeling each time we discuss this topic of the need for more agility, I have the feeling you get somehow irritated. How come?
It is the new stupid. I mean, do you remember multitasking? Okay,
Yes.
Thank God it was proved impossible. But before
Good.
that point, I had a lot of us running around crazy, trying to spin all these different plates. And I have to say a shout out to the guys who generally said, I don't do multitasking, I'm male. So congratulations to all you guys. But us women were probably the fools in that place trying to get everything done at the same time. And, I feel that agility and agile is the new multitasking. It's a dream for people who are high energy, those alpha types who just want everything is important and everything needs to be done now. All right. So, and the other, so, it's kind of like agility is like the stick to beat their team with. Come on, guys, be more agile. What's wrong with you? And the other people, I think agility is for, it's sort of a thing that they might love is those kind of managers who don't like to commit to a very clear goal. They like to keep their options open. And so when, depending on which executive they're talking to, they then shift the goalpost and they turn to their team, come on, it's okay. This is what it's like. Got to be more agile, get with the program. And you just burn people out. So, if you think about what agility is, and I was looking it up on the internet just to double check I hadn't misunderstood it, and it comes from Latin, 2 different words, and it's about being in motion, getting into motion, and another word which is about nimbleness and speed. Now, who comes to mind, Michelle, when I say to you speed, agility, nimbleness? What kind of person comes to mind? What kind of job, perhaps?
Maybe top athletes?
Exactly. Top athletes. Okay, they're nimble. They're there. Let's think of a tennis player on their toes, ready to go. Okay, but in order for that to happen, they've got like a team around them, focused on one goal. They've got nutritionists, they've got trainers, they've got psychologists, they've got masseurs, or whatever the word is. They've got all of these people dedicated, and they've got structures in place. They've probably got open communication. Everyone's accountable. They know what their role is. But most importantly, that athlete gets time off. He has to, or she has to let her muscles repair. So yes, there's moments when it's highly stressful. They need to get stuff done, need to win that match. And then they step back and they stop and they review and they have an honest conversation about, how we can improve it. But it's that all important time off. So, the thing is, I don't see that time off happening in business. It's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So if I could just, you may disagree with me.
I do.
Okay, but I see agility as a result. It's the result of systems and processes and put in place for people to perform. And part of that is dedicated time off. And I'm not talking and time not off as in it's just off the pedal, off the do, get more done. And so it's not weekends and holidays, because frankly, actually, most of the clients that I work with, they don't take holiday. I mean, they're off, but they're still checking their emails. So, so anyway, that's my argument is it's ridiculous. It's the new stupid, and it's burning through people just like multitasking did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I must say that I don't really agree with you.
Go on, give it to me.
No, it's. I understand what you say. I hear what you say, but in the meantime, the world has been changing forever. The only constant is change itself, and we have always been kind of agile. I don't know when the Wright brothers invented their first flying machine, but a few decades later, we flew to the moon. And that is because we are changing all the time, and we are actually. That's how people move on by being, the fashion word is by being agile, and we need it more than ever today in order to face our situations. And what I believe is that actually we have become lazy thinkers. It has to do with
Ouch.
laziness. Sorry?
Ouch.
Yes, it has to do with laziness, and that is my understanding of it. But why have we become so lazy thinkers? Actually, it is because of our comfort zone, and life has become extremely comfortable. Everything is so easygoing. When I'm hungry, when I'm working and I'm hungry, and I just after a few clicks on my smartphone or on my laptop, I order something and I get it delivered straight away at my door 20 minutes later. And I can get anything I want, the most delicious dishes, and even at an affordable price. For 15 euros, you can order something really good and quick. When we're sick, we go to the doctor, we get a remedy, and it's fine. We have got social security, we have got everything, and we are just not used anymore to feel some pain. We are not used anymore to be uncomfortable. We are not used anymore to feel insecure, because the only thing we want is easygoing lives and comfort and certainty. And so we are ready to believe anything, any of our thoughts that keeps us in this comfort zone. Even worse, people would prefer their uncomfort zone because that is what they know. That feels better than going for something higher or better, or and taking some risk. We are not anymore used to take risks and to feel some pain at some point if we want to have something better. So we are ready to believe all our thoughts, that make us that keep us safe. Do you know how many recurring thoughts we are having every single day? What's the percentage? What do you think?
Percentage, I don't know, 50, 50, 60?
50, 60?
I don't
Do
know. What is it?
you think it's high, 50, 60%? Is it a lot or not?
Yeah, it's pretty high. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, that probably is, yeah. Why, what is it? Go on. I think you know the answer. You're going to tell me
Studies
anyway.
have proved that it is between 80 and 90%.
80 and
What
90.
we are having every single day, 80 to 90% of the same thoughts we had the day before and the day before. So we have got these recurring old thoughts that are spinning around in our minds day after day after
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
And you know about the confirmation bias. We're
Yeah.
just looking for all these confirmations that keep us safe. And so we have become extremely lazy about, getting out of our comfort zone actually with new thoughts. And so how can we address this? There is one important thing, because that's natural, that's how we are. I also have the same recurring thoughts day after day. I'm no different, but it's just that we can first try to figure out how often we had these same thoughts before. When I'm thinking about something, I question myself and I'm asking myself, did I think about that yesterday and the day before and the week before? And how long have I been thinking about that actually already? And sometimes it's for years,
Yeah.
just the same thought repeating itself again and again. That's the first thing. We can try to kind of become more aware of what we think. And then what we can do is we can also focus on what we need to
Yeah.
adopt that fresh thinking, because it's about fresh thinking. I agree with you. I don't like the word agility because it's a kind of buzzword. Everybody uses it and it doesn't mean anything. But it's about fresh thinking. And so what I need, for example, to do some fresh thinking, I need time and space. I'm introverted. And yeah, it's true. These days, I'm training a lot every single day of the week, and I just have no space and time to think about things. And therefore, I need to be alone. I need to go for a walk or spend half a day just not being forced to listen or to interact. I need to be alone. Other people, the extroverts, might need maybe being in a group and have good discussions and brainstormings. And that's good, but we have to focus on what we really need to start thinking differently.
Yeah, but I would agree with you. I said absolutely that's about that time out. And it's not necessarily, it's just a time away from that full on, because you can't perform every day and be agile every day. We don't expect that from a tennis player or any kind of athlete.
Yeah, but I know organizations that really try hard to install that climate that would help people to stop their recurring thoughts, but it still doesn't. Because the people as well, the co-workers and the employees, we all have to take that responsibility. It's about taking responsibility for stop thinking the same old things over and over. It's also the people's jobs and responsibility to start doing that. And for sure, organizations should take responsibility for installing that climate, that culture where people feel safe and where people are allowed, where they get permission actually to think differently. What does that mean? It means questioning the strategy of the organization, questioning the rules, questioning the way we do it, and also questioning oneself. It's the two. So it's about permission, giving permission, and also giving yourself permission to start doing that without feeling in danger or without fearing that somebody might not agree. Because it's good to not agree on things, because there you create that conversation or that maybe sometimes that fight. But in the end, there will be different thoughts and new ideas. So it's about permission, it's about responsibility on both sides, and it's about really focusing on these needs. Organizations should focus on the needs of the co-workers and employees so they can think differently, so they can adopt that fresh thinking. That might be space, time, that might be values, being allowed to say something that might sound stupid, but that stupid idea might trigger an interesting one.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
Organizations should really install that freedom so that people feel secure when they say something.
Absolutely.
And yes, and then also really focus on the needs, because if we keep on focusing on the output, as you said, agility is an output or a result, then we are very much stressed about, I have to be creative, I have to produce new ideas, I have to be innovative, and then it doesn't happen, Whereas if we fulfill the needs of the people and also the needs of the organization, then the agility or the fresh thinking will come by itself. It's coming. There will always be people who will be the pioneers and who will start doing it, and others will follow. It's about installing that, and so we have to focus on the needs more than the output.
So if I just so I understand, so I'm wrong, or it's not right that it's a result of process. Agility is the process. Is that what you're? Is that or?
No, it's because once we start installing a process with rules and things people need to do and skills and procedures, then people are still again in that framework, and they will no longer be allowed to or feel that they have the permission to go out of that.
Yeah.
It's just the reverse. Organizations should give total freedom without putting in place the rule to be agile, because that's the opposite of it. And so the problem is that we have learned to, and I have done that too, to be in control. As a good manager, you have to be in control of what you do. Otherwise, you're not a good manager. That's the belief, And here it's about letting go the control. Rather than controlling how people implement rules and processes, we should control how processes and rules are transgressed, because that's where the fresh thinking happens. We should monitor how intelligently people transgress the rules and what are the positive consequences of it. Because that's where the magic happens, actually. That's where we are creative. That's where we, for example, might consider more the need of a client rather than the wish to implement everything in a very strict way. So it's about letting go, and it's about creating that freedom, that autonomy. But people have to feel responsible for that, because autonomy goes always with responsibility. People want freedom, but they don't take the responsibility for being free. Because if you get the freedom to do something differently and you don't feel responsible for it, it's just a bit too easy,
I know. So, sounds like my son.
So, Helen, what are your 3 giveaways for today for our audience? What are the 3 tips or tricks you would like to share here so that people can start actually with their fresh thinking?
Well, I thought you were going to start first on this, but I'm taking it from an emotional EQ, emotional intelligence point of view. So to the very, very starting point, it's starting with self. So this is about self-awareness and self-management. So what I would do is, when you start noticing at certain points when it's really getting stressful and difficult, or we're getting stuck, all right, it's about taking a break, taking a breather, stepping away from the environment you're in, whether it's your desk or whether it's a conversation. You grab a pen and paper, and first thing to do is really start breathing deep, long breaths to actually start encouraging more oxygen into the brain, reduce down the stress hormones. Okay, that's step 1.
Physical thing you're saying here.
Say what?
It's a physical thing, actually, to give yourself the energy and the fresh air you need to reoxygen your brain.
Yeah, and I think, and so the idea of sitting at a meeting or whatever, you're just not going to get any fresh thinking when you're just sitting there already all around a table. So it's as an individual, get out of the situation you're in. And it's an EQ exercise. It's called VET, V-E-T, but I've actually adapted it to VENT, V-E-N-T. So V is for validate. So the idea is, with that pen and paper, is to write down, check in on your feelings. What am I feeling? So emotions. And I've got an emotional wheel. So feelings like bad and mad are not feelings. You really want to Google emotional wheel, and you'll see 100 different emotions that you can feel. So to really start to identify what you're feeling, because there is no bad emotion. It's just information. It's just data. The next thing is to explore. So E, to explore. What are those feelings trying to tell you? Write that down. Start to really expand your vocabulary and thinking around those emotions. The next one is N, what you've been talking about, needs. What needs aren't being met with these emotions, with this situation? And needs, by the way, are things like trust, freedom, creativity, love, understanding, appreciation, co-creation, not a strategy. Oh, I need to get this work done. Mm-hmm. Okay. And the T is for transform. So with that information, what are these emotions telling me? What are my unmet needs? What actions can I take that respect these feelings and needs and help me shift into a more optimal state? So it's really about brainstorming as many different options as possible. That whole process just slows you down, stops you doing anything stupid, and in the process, you'll have a few simple ideas that come out. After the sort of first 3 or 4 ideas, there's probably a little bit of a gap. You go, oh, I've got no more ideas. Keep waiting, because that's when the really interesting stuff starts to happen, once you get the first obvious ones out the way. So for me, fresh thinking, that's a really good start. And you can be a junior, you can be a team member, you can be a manager, you can be a leader. That is a great tool to start with. That's
what happened the last time you did that? you were applying your own tips and tricks here. What happened in the end? How long did it take you, for example?
That's a really good question. I don't know, 5-10 minutes. Sometimes you can get kind of lost but what did happen is you just sort of channel in on you stop the whole sort of crazy thinking, the head spinning. And then I found that, and I do it a lot for my clients, it just takes them on the journey of calming down and then looking somewhere else. So 5-10 minutes and I'm calmer and I actually start seeing some solutions. And what's really important is identifying your needs. You've mentioned it. Just knowing that, going, oh, is that why I was so angry? I was arguing for something, but actually it was just this need of recognition for what I have already done, for example. So I could actually go ask for it.
Okay, through time, you have done it several times. Have you kind of learned to do it quicker and better after having trained the process a few times?
I feel like speed's coming back into this. Take off speed. We don't need to do it fast.
Yeah, that's because I love it. Speed.
Okay. So I don't know. I hear the question.
How was the quality of the process after having done it a few times?
I find that how's the quality? Well, because if you're doing it yourself, you know where you're going. But I think it's really actually to slow it down and to really be aware of the emotions. So start at the beginning, which is validate. What am I feeling? What emotions are coming up for me? It's to slow down and really be appreciative of you're allowed to have those emotions. Emotions, there's nothing wrong with them. It's your body's signal. It's just information to keep you alive. That's all it is. It's no big deal. And a lot of hormones are being released. So, and once those emotions are released, you actually can start doing something about it and take back control. So I don't know. I hear you talking about speed. It isn't something that's a priority. It's about getting it done right.
You're right. So your tips and tricks you want to share today is about emotions. Mine is more about thinking. I'm less connected to my emotions than other people are, and so I love the thinking stuff. And my tip is to adopt the STOP model. It's the S for step back, the T for think, the O for organize, and the P for proceed. So step back, think about what you see, what you hear, what you know, the information, organize it differently, and then proceed. And once you already spoke about the step back, you can do that physically, you can isolate yourself, you can do things, take time to get out of the situation. And then the thinking is for me about one important question. And the question is, when you dislike something, when you disagree with something, when you feel a bit stuck, or you feel like, okay, this is not feeling good, ask yourself, what do I need, or what do I want instead? I really want instead of what I'm thinking about, because without having a clear view, a clear awareness of what I really want, it's going to be difficult to know in which direction I can start thinking freshly, So the first thing is that, what do I want instead? And then I go to the needs. What do I actually need to get there? And within these needs, what is in my reach? What can I start doing straight away? Because sometimes we need things that are not there yet.
Yeah.
But it is about starting what is in our reach. You can start doing it. It's not a problem at all. And once we have put words on that and we know exactly what we can do straight away, then it's about doing actually.
Yeah.
We know what we want. We know what we can do, what's possible, and then start. Even if it's small, start, do it. Not waiting for what, and because otherwise we are in this complain mode of the recurring same thoughts and the victim mode, Get out of that, just ask the right questions and then start doing it. Helen, we have 5 minutes left.
Yep.
For
we wrap. So what we so at this we have got a workshop that we have put together, Michel and I, and as you've heard, we've been talking about the language of fresh thinking and different thinking, fresh thinking, to encourage agility at work. And so we are hosting a 90-minute workshop 3 times in March, and it's going to be live and interactive. So we're keeping the groups really small, and we're going to introduce and practice 3 different techniques, not the ones we talked about today, but 3 different techniques to increase fresh thinking. I'm trying to avoid the word saying agile. Fresh thinking to help you as an individual or you and your teams to revisit problems or projects, and to break the habit of that usual thinking and the usual behaviors, to encourage new ideas and open up new possibilities for the projects you're working on. Really simple techniques. You will walk away with knowing exactly what to do. It's very, very practical. You can do it the next day with the team. And so we've got 3 of them. And I don't know, Michel, whether you've got a second to put it in the chat on the LinkedIn.
I'm just checking it, actually. So what is your question?
Can you put the link to our website landing page about that workshop? If not, I'll do it afterwards. It's just I don't think I've got the...
I have copied into the comments when we started, and I'm going to copy it in again. So
okay.
It should pop up one more time.
Okay. So that's it. We just thought, we've been doing these lives now for a few months, and what we want to do is try and sort of add a bit more to it, not just have us talking. And very happy. I love the comments, by the way. It's great that you disagree with me, and I'm getting things confused. That's absolutely brilliant to tell me that. So the idea really is to get more, to explore more about the kind of workshops and the trainings that we do, and that you can actually experience us in person. So very happy to see anybody who wants to join us in March for one of those workshops. I'm behind the scenes managing that. So if you have any questions, give me a shout. You can always connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with us via our LinkedIn page. Let me just put that online. That's the LinkedIn page. So yeah, thank you very much for joining. I have learned something today from Michel. It's always good to disagree with you.
Mm-hmm. I've learned something too. Thank you so much, Helen, for your thoughts and ideas.
And see you again. We do actually have a live in a month's time on the 25th of February. And I think it might be toxicity.
Really?
But it might be.
That's cool.
In the office.
The title we should be ignored.
Anyway, thanks, Michel. Great to see you. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.